Good morning. Welcome to Stamp and Chat. I'm just going to check I'm in the right place. And just share this over to my group, hoping that somebody is going to hop on and say hello. We're kind of in this limbo stage, aren't we, of in between Christmas and New Year. I'm just sharing this over. I've got a different setup, so I'm hoping that I'm not in the way. And now I'm wishing that I cleaned my glasses before I started. Okay, sharing over to the group. Just give my glasses a quick clean. Well, hopefully some of you will be joining me live this morning. Not to clean glasses is not good for crafting. I think there's a couple of you here already. Let me just enlarge glasses clean and see where we are. Morning. Good morning if you're joining me. Please do say hello. It's so nice to know who is here with me. I'm just going to do some adjustments. I might zoom in a smidge if it will let me. Why won't it let me zoom? Not letting me for some reason. Okay, as I've said before, the view on my phone is so different to what I see on my Mac, what you're seeing. Let me just get rid of that little notification. Morning, Jacqueline. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Hi, Ellie. How are you doing? Is it manic in your house, having all those children about? It's a funny time, isn't it? I don't know about you guys, but I always feel it's a funny time in between Christmas and New Year. And normally Jason would be back at work, I'm sure. But he's home today and he's over. I'm hoping he's going to be putting in the shower for my dog wash because it's pretty mucky around here with all this wet weather. Taking Alfie for a walk down the lane, he gets really mucky. So we've got all the unit, the Belfast sink, everything's in ready. We just want some hot water to it. I hate putting him under the hose pipe when we come back. Morning, Belle. How are you? How are you all doing? Oh, it's nice to have some of you joining. So, I'm hoping you all had a wonderful Christmas. We had a lovely Christmas. It was quiet. It was different, which I'm sure it was for most of us. But I had a lovely Christmas lunch. I always enjoy cooking for Christmas lunch, and I always enjoy eating it. I know a lot of people saying, I don't enjoy eating my own food that I cook, but I do. I love preparing it, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. And I did remember my cranberry, Belle, listening back to you this morning. Although this year, for the first year, Jason and I, we actually had a second Christmas lunch at dinner time as well. So normally we'd have bread and cheese and the leftover turkey, but we still had gravy and a few other bits. And I said, should we have should we have a hot dinner? So we did, and we really enjoyed it. So I got to have my cranberry in the evening as well. So card number 3, we're on week 3. I have to say, this week has seemed to gone into Slojo Mojo week for me. It's seems to just be ages ago since I was on here talking to you. So I don't know, maybe it's because we've been doing different things, and we did get to see some family. Maybe that's why it feels a bit different. So, right, I'm just going to pull my jacket off. A bit chilly over here in the studio this morning. So, right, card number 3. If you're stamping with me live, we've got a bit of glare. I had a new light for Christmas. Jason got me. And when I was setting up this morning, I've changed my setup, so I've got everything on my left of me now. So, and my Mac's over on my right. So I'm hoping that I'm not going to be bobbing my arm in the way when I'm checking and looking at comments. So, different bit of setup, but I am finding, although this light is really good, if I turn it off, let's just see the difference. Does make quite a difference. I'm just going to wait for the catch up on my Mac to see. God, it's quite a delay on there. It's taken this long and it hasn't caught up yet. I didn't realise the delay was so long on that. Anyway, light's going back on. Yeah, it does make a bit of a difference having the light, but I am finding there is a bit of a glare. So when I've got things on here like this, like the stamps, you will get a bit of a glare on here. So these are the cards that we made in week 1. And week 2, we did this kind of wedding or anniversary or christening cards. So different way of using the coming home. I have checked this morning. The stamps have sadly sold out. The dies are still available. These are the dies. So they're still quite a usable set to create scenes and things with. And of course you may well be able to pick this up pre-loved somewhere because when the time comes, you know, I may be moving mine on as well. So let's bring in today's card. So here it is. Another congratulations. I thought this would make a lovely house moving card, which is why I've used this greeting. But I think all of the cards, apart from obviously the church one, the wedding-y one, would be quite suitable for man cards as well. So I promised you a different way of using this stamp, which I believe is smoke that comes out of the chimney. I believe that's what it's supposed to be. But today, we're going to be using it to create a bush or a hedge up here. And then also, if you watch along, you'll see that I've used it to create these clouds. And I've literally stamped on the reverse to get an edge, and then I've cut it out. But I'll be showing you how I've done that. So if you're stamping along with me live, pull out your card pack number 3, and you'll need a Just Jade base layer as well. There aren't too many pieces in here. You're going to need some of your scrap white and a bit of your scrap pool party as well. So you've got 2 pieces of Whisper White. One is smaller than the other. The smaller piece is for the front of our card, okay? So I'm going to pop my base just to one side for the moment. And we're going to keep these pieces out. I've already cut this piece as well. This is from the, oh, it's gone out of my head, Curvy Celebrations offering, which, this is it here, do you remember? This is nearing an end. It finishes on the 4th of January because obviously we're having our new mini on the 5th of January, which is really exciting. So although the curvy dies and the curvy stamp set are carrying over into the mini catalogue, we've got a whole bundle of products down here that's only available until 4th of January with that 10% off. So definitely worth looking at if you're loving those curvy dies. So that's where I've cut this one from, and I'm using them all the way through this round as well. So Belle, clever at using those stamps differently. Well, I try to kind of go outside of the box a little with them because, as I keep saying, it is predominantly when you pick up this stamp set, when you first see it, you just look at it and think, oh, it's Christmas. You know, for sure, what else would I want it for? But I wanted people that have bought it to be able to use it all throughout the year on different things. So that was my aim. And I loved what you did with it, Belle, as well, with the gingerbread houses. Okay, so let's start with some stamping. Might have to tape this grid paper down. I've got a bit of tape at the top, but we seem to be having a bit of a wobble. Let's just pop that one here for the moment. See if you can see that if you're in shot. And I'm just going to grab my Pierce mat, my foam pad, and some Whisper White. And you'll need to mount, we're using 2 of the houses today. So we're using these 2. Okay. So if you want to mount those up, and then you'll need your black Momento ink pad. Also as well, those of you that took part in the kits in the post, you received one each in the light colours of the Just Jade, the Pool Party and the Crumb Cake blends. So we're going to be doing a bit of colouring in with those. So let's get some stamping done. Might sit down for a minute, see how I get on. Just like to stand when I'm stamping live because I find it easier to see above what I'm doing. So we need both of these houses inked up in the Memento, and then we're going to colour them in and then cut them out afterwards. And then while we've got the ink out, pull out your little car, which looks very much like a VW Beetle. There's a dot of cardstock on there, and in the black Memento again, we're just going to stamp this one down. Now, if you don't have the dies, I know some of you did get the die set to go with this. If you don't have them, these are really easy to cut around. They're quite easy shapes for you to follow. What else do we need to stamp? I think we do our colouring, and then we'll do our hedge. I was going to say bush, but I prefer the word hedge after. So let's move these inks out of the way. So what are you guys all up to today? What's on the agenda? I kind of feel that I'm ready to come back to work now. I did spend a little bit of time over here yesterday, but with Jason at home, it's difficult. Something on my grid there, because obviously I want to spend time with him while he's at home because he does work a lot of hours. So just going to colour in. Let's do the door. Hear my heater click in then. Yeah, so I lost my train of thought and I got engrossed in my colouring. That's the trouble with colouring, isn't it? Draws you in. Yeah, so I'm kind of ready to come back over here, and next week, some of you have already booked, and I did close booking, but really today is the last day if you want to join in with my online mini catalogue launch, which is happening next Monday, which is the 4th. I'm doing an online mini catalogue launch party, and I'm going live. I'm opening up a private Facebook group, and I'm going to be going live in the afternoon and in the evening. I'm sending out 2 make and take card kits as well to those who are purchasing that option. So once I've done here, if there's anybody that would like to join in with that, if you want to just be able to watch the lives and be part of the group, then it's £5. But if you want a catalogue posted along with a celebration catalogue, then on the other end, then it will be £7.50. And I will be cutting some kits after I finished here and then heading off to the post office by lunchtime. So if you would like to take part in that, please message me as soon as this live is finished, and then I can make sure that if you want kits in the post, I can get them posted today so that they'll be with you in time. Okay, let's just have a quick look at comments. Ellie, you're making pancakes for breakfast. You're working tomorrow. Oh, pancakes for breakfast. That sounds delicious. Working tomorrow. Sophie's back at work today. Today's a tidy up day. I know. Do you know what? all the, you know, I think the rubbish man came today as well, so it was like trying to get everything out. Not that we get a lot of rubbish here. Obviously there were things from opening Christmas presents that had to go out, but so that was happening today. But yeah, and for the first year I'm not ready for the tree to come down, but I'm ready to start taking some of the decorations down. Is that sad? I find that a bit sad. I'm not a bar humbug, as I said before, but I don't know, I just feel this year I want to get on. I want to move forward. Just colour this little house in really quickly. Really roughly. Just go a bit heavier under there. And under the windows. Jacqueline, you're planning your lives for next week's videos. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I've got loads of planning to do. Lots of planning. I'm going to be revamping my regular 6-card class in the post because it's such a lot of work. And I'll be totally honest, when I set it up in March, when we went into our first lockdown, I didn't really anticipate that I was still going to be doing the kits this way, and it's just taking up so much time. So I'm going to be doing some changes with that. So if you're on my mailing list, you will be getting something later today or tomorrow regarding that. I'm just going to take the crumb cake now and colour in the roof on this one and then the house on the other. I love a bit of planning. Don't know about you guys. I love my bullet journal and I love my planner. I'm a list maker, so I love to make a list, and I love ticking things off my list as well, which is always a good thing, isn't it? Gives you a sense of satisfaction when you can tick off a task and you know it's done. I can hear movement outside. I can hear gravel moving, so I think could be a bit of work going out there with that tap, which would be good. And we can test run it later when we go down the lane. Alf is in the house because Jason's pottering around outside, so he can let him in and out, and I didn't want the door left open. As I've said, it's quite chilly over here. Oh, I do love a bit of colouring in. These pens do make it easy as well. And I'm going to give my nails a paint later. I do have one of those lamps, so I'm struggling with my nails a bit at the moment. I do put on hand cream every night and in the morning, which I know does help, but I do suffer with really dry hands as well, and it doesn't help with the nails. They're just a bit brittle at the moment. Let's just make that a little bit darker. So I'm super excited about the new mini catalogue. I've got a couple of samples to share with you at the end as well of different things. Last time I think I showed you the Darling Donkeys card that I did with it. So I'll be sharing something a bit different with that. So that's the colouring in done of the little houses. Let's pop those to one side and then we can cut those out in a moment. Now you'll need a strip of just Jade. I don't know if I need my, let's bring in my foam mat for this. And you want this little, the smoke that comes out of the chimney. Get these pins out of the way. And we're just going to create like a border. I'm going to have to stand up for this so I can see what I'm doing. And we're kind of just creating an edge, and I'm just doing them next to each other like this, just in a row. Doesn't matter if they're not level, if they go up or down, because a hedge isn't level. Let's do one more and I can always chop one off. And then I'm going to turn it slightly and just in each of these gaps, just do a little swirl down in there, like that. And then I'm just going to do another bit up here and I'm going to chop into this one as well. Let's put a bit there like that. Okay. I think I'm preferring my setup that I've got here. So I normally have my Archon stand over to my right, and it gives me very little room. Because I'm right-handed, I like to have all of my products over here to the right. That's kind of like my go-to side, and having them on the left doesn't feel natural. So I've got everything over to my left now, and obviously there's still cables going everywhere from my lamp, but I think I'm liking it. Ideally I'd like to have my Archon stand here, but because I've got lights above, then I end up with a shadow. Okay, so from this piece here, all we're going to do is literally follow the line of the curves. Let's just have a quick look at comments. Belle, your nails have been doing better during lockdown. Your skin's terrible. Oh, you have eczema. It's gone a bit mad, but your nails are good. Yeah, I sometimes find that. I don't get a lot of problems. Obviously, when we get this cold weather, my hands really dry out, which is why I'm not doing very good with my cutting, which is why I'm constantly popping hand cream on, which, you know, I think should help your nails really. But my nails are just weak. They're not strong, but they're brittle as well. They're like bendy, which is a bit strange. I think that will be more than long enough. I'm just hovering it over probably going to end up chopping the end off of that. So we're looking at something like that to resemble a hedge, and then I need just another small, if I cut the whole thing out and then I can trim it after. Can't cut today. My cutting isn't very, I think it's because my hands are chilly. My hands aren't warm and they're not moving. They're a bit stiff. Okay. So let's just move that one out of the way. So we've got our hedges cut. Bring that back in for a minute. And let me show you how I've done these two clouds here. Now, if we start with the pool party, we literally think of when you're stamping down, think of what kind of shape a cloud would be. And this is going to be really random. And then we're going to simply trim it and use the other side. It doesn't matter if you go over. What we're looking for is a kind of swirly shape that we can use as a base to create a cloud, rather than trying to cut a cloud shape freehand. Do you know what? I am chilly over here. I've got the heating on, but it's only on low. It's kind of on tick over. That looks rather bizarre, but once we cut it, I'm hoping from the other side it will look like a cloud. We hope. We can only hope. And it doesn't matter if you go over the edge, because it's not going to show. I think as well when I did mine, I may have stamped off so it wasn't so dark. Let's see what it looks like when we turn it over. Can we see through? I don't think we'll see through once we lay it. Oh, we might do. I'm going to do another, guys, because that doesn't make me happy, but I'm going to stamp it off so that it's very pale. And then hopefully it won't. Remembered then when I was cutting what I did. And of course I designed these a few weeks ago and the brain doesn't remember how I did it. The brain doesn't remember what I did yesterday sometimes. Do you ever get that? I don't know whether it's like an age thing, but I'll be talking to Sophie and I'll be like, we watched this really good movie yesterday, and she said, what was it called? And I'm like, oh, I don't remember. She said, well, what was it about? And then when I sit and think about it, I can't really remember what happened. That's dreadful, isn't it? Please tell me I'm not alone. There. That's not too bad. As clouds go, let's cut this one out. Let's just cut some away from the edge so it makes it easier for my scissors to turn. This is going to be quite a large cloud. You liking my clouds? I know, I don't, it's a bit like the tree. I don't know where, I'm not one for coming up with ideas generally, but the tree idea on the first week that I did, that just popped into my head. So I think it's because normally I don't challenge myself to go outside of the box. That's not too bad as far as clouds go. I'm not going to throw that original one away because I might be able to use that. I could have done with a bigger bobble down there, but I think once I cover them up, they'll be fine. Okay, while we've got these two out, in your kits, I gave you a little sponge, and I left it blank. I think I might have put the pool party on, but you can always change that. Now, if you've got a blue or a pool party ink, you can use this to go around your clouds. Clever idea. Thank you, Ellie. Belle, it shows your brain is busy. I know. Do you know what? I think that is a lot of it. I'm convinced of that. Belle, you know, a lot of the time it makes me feel stupid because I'm like, why can't I remember that? But I do. I think we have so many things going down on around in our heads of what we've got to do and what we've got to plan. Especially in this line of work as well, because we're always thinking ahead. I always have to be ahead about, you know, what I'm planning and what classes are coming up and being organised, which is why I absolutely love my planner, because it just helps me to keep on track. And Sophie bought me the most gorgeous inserts for my planner, some lovely ones like vellum sheets with the months of the year on, and some lovely tabbed dividers. So I was setting that up last night and putting all that in. And then I do bullet journaling as well in a separate book that sits in my planner, which is like a tick list system that just keeps me on track. So the night before, I sit down and I write a list of all the things that I want to achieve the following day. And obviously I can put things in ahead of time as well. So I think, apart from our greeting, that's all the stamping. Let's do a bit of cutting. I'm going to I'm not going to do it on the desk because it just wobbles everything about. But the mini stamping, cut and emboss machine, so the mini boss, we're calling it. Let me just fold it up for you. For some of you may not have seen just how portable this is. It is super cute, guys. It's got a nice Alfie hair statically stuck to it. It is just brilliant. I absolutely love it. It sits on my desk next to me with my regular stamp and cut and emboss machine. Where did I put the plates? There they are. And I use it a lot. So plate number 1, plate number 2, that one is wide enough to go on. And then I need these 2 houses and a bit of washi tape, which I did get ready. And I'm just going to tape these down and then run them through really quickly. I wish we had washi tape, although I did confess to you when we had this discussion the other week that I tend to hoard washi tape, have a nice collection, and then I get a bit edgy about using it because it's so pretty and I don't want to use it all. Okay, they're taped down. Jacqueline, you get brain fog. Oh, you have fibre. I didn't realise you had that. Yeah, I can imagine that. I've got a few customers who have fibro, and I hear all about the brain fog. That's not fun at all, is it? Belle, you gave your pre-order. Gave your pre-order 1 to your mum for Christmas, and she loves it. Oh, she's got arthritis, and a Big Shot is very heavy. Yeah, they are. They are so heavy, and that's what I love about the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines. They're lightweight, but they're still sturdy as well. I'm just going to run this through my little baby really quickly. So there's still time, guys. If you want to place an online order with me, there are still some things left on the retired list. If you go onto my website, don't tear. If you place an online order with me before the end of the month and it's over £30 and you use my host code, you will be entered into my giveaway with the chance of winning a mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. How exciting is that? I'm super excited to give one away to somebody. I'll be doing some kind of random generator to pick. Oh, we need to cut the car as well, don't we? Let's chop that off. Grab the car die. Another bit of washi. Of course, if you don't have these dies, just cut around with some scissors. They're not too hard, too tricky. Val, you said you're going to have to wait until January the 5th to order one for yourself. Yes, of course. So that's when I'll be ordering my giveaway. Oh, look, that wasn't a good plan, was it? All is not lost. I tore that a bit. That is the one thing with washi tape. If it's a bit tacky, sometimes it can pull your image, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. I can always do another one later and pop it on. Okay, I think all of our stamped pieces are together for now. Let's bring in, pop the lid on the Memento. Oh, I'm getting chilly over here now. I might have to put my jacket back on. Bring in your base. This is just Jade. Absolutely adore this colour. So it's one of our in colours. And we can go ahead and stick down. I'm just waiting to make sure that I'm in shot. That looks bigger. Why does that look bigger? Because I've pulled the insert. Oh, Kerry, wake up. Having a moment there. Oh, I've even got the sniffles now where I'm getting chilly over here. Jason and I were talking this morning about maybe installing some radiators up here. Because we have heating downstairs and we do have a heating system downstairs. But we also have heating and air conditioning units in here. But when we moved in, when I finally got all my studio ready, they worked, everything worked, all the air conditioning worked when we moved in. And then it appeared that something had chewed one of the cables outside for the Dakin air conditioning, and because they update their systems, we couldn't just replace cables, or I think it was some kind of like board inside this big box that we would have had to replace the whole box, which is why we just popped a little heater in here for now. And then here we are 3 years down the line and we're still having that little heater going, but it keeps it ticking over. Right, you've got a strip of this DSP. This is from the Classic Christmas. I still got some of this paper left, absolutely adore it. And you can still order it, so it's not too late. And remember, it's not just for Christmas. It's such a fab set. I'm going to lay that one over and just trim it. Oops. See, like more fingers where my hands are cold. Save that bit for something else. So we want that one to be the same width. We also need to bring in, let's just move you there. Got a bit of sticky on there. Good old adhesive remover. All gone. And I think if we pop that one on first, got a bit of a curve on where I've cut it. Roughly where we want it, and then I'm going to add that one. So let me look at my original. So this layer's all raised up. I'm going to pop this one down first, and I'm going to overhang it and then just cut a nice clean edge. I'm just going to gauge. That's about right. Maybe a little bit higher. Like that. So pop a little hedge in there. You could always slide it in after. And I'm just going to snip off that little piece. And glue on this nice strip of DSP. Just to hide the bottom of it. Like that. Okay. Now if we pop some dimensionals behind this layer, because I've raised this one up just so it pops up a little bit. Add a few of these. I'm still not used to using these large ones. I got so used to using the minis. It's funny, isn't it? I do need to place another order as well, so maybe Bella will add on some of those foam sheets. So this layer is just literally lining in with the bottom. Hoping you're in shot here. I think you are. Like so. And then our house is going to just slide behind the hedge just here. So I'm going to pop a dimensional just at the top. And then a little bit of glue on the bottom. And we'll just slide that one in underneath the hedge. Just so that it's hiding the bottom line. It needs to be straight. The bottom stamped line. Like that. And then we'll pop in. How much of this hedge do we want showing? Really want a bit. So I think if I snip off that bit behind like that, pop him a little house under, so he's just going on Tombow. Should move that out of the way so you can actually see what I'm doing step by step. Oh, actually, I best put my little hedge in first, hadn't I? Otherwise, because I've cut it quite long, it's not going to fit under. And then just pop my house in next to my hedge. Like that, little house on the hill. And then we'll add in the car. Apart from a little torn bit, I think it will be okay. Couple of dimensionals behind here. Don't know where these little fluffy Alfie hairs are coming from. Alfie didn't know what to make of the snow yesterday. Did you all have snow? I mean, they said it was coming, but you know when they say it's coming and you're like, will we get it? And it was pretty. Just a dusting, just a little light covering. Enough not to cause any mischief on the roads over in this area anyway, which I'm glad about, because that's the one thing I hate about snow. I hate the ice. Hate having to think about anybody travelling on it. Just going to bring in a greeting. So this stamp set, the Coming Home, doesn't have any greetings in it. So I'm using an upcoming one, which I'm using all the way through this round, and it's the Many Messages. So it's one big stamp. It comes as one big red rubber stamp. But as I've already shown you, I've chopped mine into individual stamps. Okay, so it's £20 that one, which is really great value. And you can see it looks rather messy and untidy, but it does the job that I want it to do. So let's bring in our spongy mat, bring back in the Memento. Belle, you didn't have any snow. Goodness, you're not that far away. I mean, we've still got, I'm looking at the very far end of my studio. I can see the wind through the window from here, and I can see snow out on the grass on the field. And there's actually still a bit of snow on one of my Velux windows over here, and there's snow on the hill still. So still chilly, although it was forecast to have another little bit this morning, but then when we got up, the weather had changed a bit. I think it said maybe 11 o'clock. We might have a bit of sleety rain, which isn't fun, is it? And it's chilly. I don't like being chilly, but it's nice and toasty and warm in the house, which is good. So this is my greeting. And I'm using I think it's called the Messages Die. Let me have a quick look at what its official name is. Oh, she says, if she can find it. I thought I'd put a marker on my mini catalogue. It's called the Messages Die, and it's £32, but you can buy it as a bundle with the stamp set, it's a fabulous combination. Absolutely love it. Been using this one a lot. And I'm going to line it up. Which one am I going to use? This one here. So I'm going to lay it down on that one. I'm going to run this obviously through my big machine because it's not going to fit in my mini. So let's just line that one in. It looks quite tight, but it does fit nicely. That's straight. I'm hoping that it doesn't move by the time I get over there. I'll just run that through quickly. And it moved. Because I know you can't hear me so well when I'm over here. Just run this through really quickly. Quite a stiff die to turn. because it's cutting over, it has to cut through all of these little edges. Oh, I just love it. Look at that, beautiful. Yeah, so it has to cut all of those edges when you're running it through, so it is quite stiff dye to work with. Fabulous. Let's pop some dimensionals under there. And then we can lay this one down. So we didn't really have enough snow to build a snowman. But it was quite a good covering. And actually the snow that came down yesterday was quite heavy, but it sort of didn't come to anything. Let's think. Somewhere I need to leave a little bit of room for my clouds. That's not central. Sorry guys, I'm being fussy. That will have to do. Anyway, if it's wonky, Belle would be proud of me. So, a couple of dimensionals behind here. I'm expecting a Stampin' Up! Order to arrive tomorrow. Hopefully, if UPS... Oh, I was a little bit high. That was a little bit high, wasn't it? I think I can take it off. Would that be dead? Oh, I heard a tear. Oh no. Might be dangerous, but I want to go a bit lower. Oh, look, there is a bit of a tear, but it's going to be hidden. Don't cry, guys. Don't cry. All is not lost. Because it's going to be hidden with my cloud. That's better. That makes me happier. It was a bit close to the top. Yeah, so I'm expecting a delivery tomorrow, which is exciting. I've got a nice supply of cardstock coming, ready for my January classes to get cutting. So there we go. All done. A few specks of dust on there. So they're quite fresh, quite clean. Not too many, well, a few layers I guess, but not too many heavy layers. It's quite, for me it's quite clean, quite fresh, quite white. Shall we do something on the inside? I'm not sure what we will do on the inside. Did I do anything? I never normally do anything on my original. I think quite often it's good to keep something blank. Let's have a look. So happy to hear of your exciting news. Congratulations. We could finish that with sending happy thoughts. What do we think? So happy to hear of your exciting news. Congratulations. Oh, can't get that one out. Now I haven't trimmed this one down. Haven't used this one either, so let's find a little block. Thanks, Ellie. Do you like my card? I think you could get away with giving that to a man, couldn't you? It's not too feminine, pretty. But I'm going to have to cut this greeting out. Let's locate another scrap and stick it on the middle like I've been doing because I've cut these stamps, the stickers don't line up with the stamp, so it's really hard without faffing too much to get them straight and line them up. So let's have a look which die that goes with. Just pull out that part one. Now I would say it goes with that one there, but I'm going to put it on the middle of my card. I think I'm going to use that one because I use that one a lot and I do love that. So let's chop half of that off, otherwise we're going to waste it. And we'll just line it in centrally. Keep still, piece of paper. Stick it down. Just cut this one through quickly. And then we can pop it in the middle. How are we doing for time? Not too bad. Oh, all that cutting of those dies. I've got a couple of extras there, look. So I've got that one, which I can use for something else, and I've got that one, but this is the one that I wanted. There we go. I need to replace that bottom plate now because it's giving little, I'm just going to push those bits out, bits of leftover paper that are in the stuck in the plate where it's been well used are coming out on finished die cuts. I'm going to layer that one up with dimensionals just because we can. It doesn't matter that it's popped up even though it's on the inside of a card. And then just pop that one down somewhere in the middle. My belly's doing a rumble. I've had my breakfast today. Is that central? A little bit up to one side. So this afternoon's task is I need to do something with some of the leftover veg. I might make a soup. I did make a soup last week. Went down to the garden and had some carrots underground. Was I telling you this last week? I can't remember. But I still had, can you believe this? I still had carrots underground and I still had some potatoes. So I pulled and dug and made a soup. Potato, carrot and onion soup. But today I've got some pastry. I'm not making the pastry. I've cheated and bought some. And I'm going to make a turkey and vegetable pastry, which will be lovely. We usually have it with chicken. When you pop in, so you use like cooked chicken, and then you can put in like any leftover veg that you've got that's cooked, or I like to put in peppers and tomatoes, cheese, and then you mix in a bit of mayonnaise, and then you kind of create like a big sausage roll with your chicken mixture and then cook it. It's absolutely delicious. It's one of our favourites. So I might make one of those and I'll freeze that probably. And I think tonight I might do for dinner, we might have a turkey curry, because I think today really is the last day for the turkey. So there we go. I'm quite liking these little popped up greetings on the middle of the cards. So that's my finished card. Thank you all for joining me. I've got a couple of things to share with you. So I can't open these online with you yet. It's very tempting, but the Stampin' Up policy is that I'm not allowed to show you the inside of the catalogues until they're actually live on the 5th of January. So this is the mini catalogue and celebration. These are my copies. They're very dog-eared. They've been travelling from here to the house backwards and forwards with me while I'm doing stuff, and obviously I've been planning classes using them, and they've had lots of love already. If you want to receive these copies in the post and be part of my mini catalogue launch, which I'm doing online on Monday afternoon and Monday evening, if you're not on Facebook, it's not a problem because I can save those videos and put them over to YouTube for you, and you can watch them when you're ready on the replay. If you're not able to watch live and join in, because I'm sending make and take cards as well, then you can also catch up on the replay. So that is not a problem. So if you'd like to take part in that, I need to know by lunchtime today because I'm cutting kits and I'm heading to the post office because I want to make sure they're going to get there in time. And then I just thought I'd give you a little sneak peek at a couple of products and a card that I've made with them. So this is the Dragonfly Garden and it has a matching punch. Have we got a massive glare? I'm sorry if we have. I'm going to have to think about adjusting my light so I don't have a glare. So these two you can buy as a bundle. They're fabulous, and here's just a little card that I've created using this little dragonfly punch. And this is a new designer paper that's with the celebration. Let me check what it's called. It's called Flower and Field, and I was going to get some out. Let me grab some quickly so I can show you it because it's so pretty. I've got some new storage for all of my designer paper, so I'm all organised and it's all labelled. Let me just grab some of this so I can show you it. I've been cutting into it as well, so just move that to one side. So this is the sheet that I've used, which is just gorgeous. So if you have not heard of Celebration before, it's one of our biggest promotions of the year. We're having 2 this year instead of just 1, so 2 shorter qualifying periods. And when you spend £45, you get to choose a free item, and this designer series paper is one of those. Isn't it lovely? So we've got basic black in here, we've got Bumblebee, which is the yellow, can't turn the pages. We've got Flirty Flamingo, bit of Cherry Cobbler, just Jade, of course. There's loads of colours in here. It's going to be such a usable set. Granny Apple Green, Petal Pink, got a bit of Pool Party. I do like this Bumblebee one. So a really beautiful set of designer paper, and as I've said, if you are placing an order during Celebration of £45, then you can earn that for free. But just look at this set, isn't it lovely? So you've got 2 lined images here, but you've also got this stamp that you can see on mine. I've used it to create a background on your dragonfly. So yeah, lovely set. Okay, my hands are getting colder and colder, and I think I've been waffling on for almost an hour, and it's time for my mid-morning coffee. So if you have any questions, please get in touch. I will be popping this live over onto YouTube for catch-up later, and I'll be back very soon with some new product shares for you and also more information. I think I wobbled things then about my next round of Stampin' Chat, because that is heading this way really quickly because we're obviously on week 3. So you should have received information on that already, but I'm including the floating and fluttering stamp sets and an ink pad. Here's a little card that I've made using that set, and I've used the many messages as well. So this isn't part of the Stampin' Chat round, but the stamps are included. I've just thought I would show you a card here that I've made with it. So with that in mind, love to have some more of you join in the next round of Stampin' Chat. So I will bid you all farewell. I'm going to go and grab a coffee and get cooking with the leftovers. So take care, everybody. Thank you all for stopping by and chatting with me. It really does mean a lot. And enjoy your new year, and I'll be back with you all very shortly. So take care for now. Bye.